Ready? You do a clap because that audio syncs it.
Okay.
Okay, so we just watched...
No. Have to mute the telly. Do another clap.
Okay, so we just watched Small Things Like These.
What the hell did we just watch? That's how it needs to start.
What the hell did we just watch?
What the hell did we just watch?
What the hell?
Was it called all of these small things?
All of these small things. Small Things Like These.
Small things like
Small Things Like These with Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy, for those of you who don't know, from Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders.
And 28 Days Later?
28 Days Later, the original zombie one from the UK zombie one. And recently Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer.
Of course.
There you go. So he's been in lots. He's a very good actor. He's won the Oscar for Oppenheimer, actually.
Oh, wow.
Which is good. So what did you think of the movie?
Do you want a rating? Or just
We'll do ratings at the end.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the movie, aren't we? That's what this thing's going to be about.
I thought it was very, very good.
Yeah.
Had me hooked. And normally I don't get on well with those, like,
It was quite slow-paced.
slow-paced films.
Very like emotionally driven. Very
Moody, quite moody.
moody. Yeah, the lighting was moody, wasn't it? And
Should we have, like, topics to talk about? Like, we talk about lighting, filming, or do we just...
no, it's just talk. It's just talk.
We're just going to talk.
Yeah.
I like the way it started. It's like the opening was just like some shots of Ireland, but you didn't necessarily know it was Ireland.
No.
It was just like a gloomy northern town.
And you didn't know, like, the era, because I thought it was like 70s, 80s. You thought it was 90s, so I think it's somewhere in the middle, like maybe 80s. But it could. I don't think it's the point to know the era necessarily. But
Well, no, there was like a few little telltale signs, like there was a phone on the thing. We should definitely put in the
an old dial-up phone.
in the thing, like, spoilers.
Exactly. Spoiler alert.
Like a dialy phone.
Old wagons from like the 70s.
Yeah.
But the cars are a bit more modern.
But they hair, like, I thought the outfits were very well done because there wasn't a date giveaway. It was just like cold, northern, working class.
Exactly.
But the hair and like the styling around the makeup and stuff was easy then to see, okay, it's definitely 80-ish.
Yeah.
Around the 80s.
We're going for 80s.
Men with muzzies and curly hair and
A
like...
couple of mullets.
Yeah.
A few bits and bobs.
Yeah.
And then to give away so he didn't know it was a northern town, all the Irish accents
All the Irish accents cut off. That was fun.
was a giveaway. But no, it was obviously, I think, definitely based on true events. I don't know if the story was true. I'm not sure.
I don't know if this story was true, but the book was written by...
Yeah,
And look,
you've got to do some research.
written by
But I certainly thought, like...
Clay Keegan. Oh,
Claire Keegan. Claire Keegan.
it sounds like an
Sorry, potty accent.
Yeah.
You know, plenty of
We have
accents.
to give a spoiler for that as well.
Plenty of
Terrible
accents in this show.
So Clay Keegan wrote the book. It doesn't look like it was based on a true story, but based on real events.
Yeah.
So we know, like, the Magdalena convents were a thing, and
So it was about Catholic nuns
Catholic nuns,
and how they treated women who were
unwed
unwed and pregnant. So their family, like, these families would drop them off to be looked after in a convent, in the convent or wherever it is, and then basically they were, you know, again, spoiler alert, they were abused.
Abusively, but that's no spoiler because you know, it's
You
no
get that from the
secret.
trailer, don't you?
Yeah, but it's also no secret what happened with the Magdalena. I think it was the Magdalena sisters was the name of the other film. Maybe we should have someone in charge of fact checking before we start yabbering on.
We're just going to roll with it. This is a pilot episode. Just going to roll with it.
But it was the Magdalena sisters, and I think that was the first film I watched where I became aware of, like, the horrors of these convents and the horrors of what happened to women in Ireland who were unwed and married. And I'm not saying in Ireland only. I mean, it may have happened in England. It's probably not as common.
It probably happened in a lot of places, I think. And it said there that it was all about repentance and like training, like
well, they were given life skills. I think that's how they sold it to like the community. Is that because the wife says in the bit, she says, you know, it's nothing compared to the hardships you faced or whatever, because in their eyes, well, they're being looked, they get a hot meal, they learn some life skills, and their baby's looked after, you know, so what more do they want?
Exactly.
It's better than they would get sort of in the real world, but actually they were heavily judged because of their decisions.
Heavily judged.
And abused for it, like physical abuse. I think in that movie, was it Philomena? I think it was called Philomena.
Yeah, it was.
She was like an old lady.
It was
Alan.
Yeah, Alan Partridge.
Alpha Papa. I really called him Alpha Papa. Is that his name?
No, that's the character he plays.
Oh, yeah. So
Steve Coogan.
That's him, yeah.
Partridge.
So is this Philomena his mom? Or his name?
I think he investigates it. Oh, maybe. Possibly.
He might be the journalist.
Yeah.
And then sorry.
It's been a while.
We should also just, at this point in time, let you know that I don't remember anything from films.
Yeah.
Often we'll re-watch stuff. And
I remember I've got an encyclopedia knowledge of films, or everything else in life, like actually doing life. Useless.
But Tony often has to say, we watched this, and we watched it on this day and this year. He's a bit like Rain Man for films. But I can't even remember ever watching the film, and I'll go, oh, wow, I can't believe that. And it's like the first time I've ever watched it. So just a side note.
But this actually was the first time I've ever watched this.
This is the first time I've ever watched this one. But Philomena, why I couldn't remember that. I think he was a journalist investigating, and he helps her find her son because she had gone to a Magdalena convent. And
was it in Ireland as well?
Yeah, and they investigate. I think he's English, but goes to Ireland with her, and they investigate how these women were responsible for like sending the kids away, but destroying loads of documents and like destroying proof that it ever happened, and like
lawful, wasn't it?
And hiding their sins. Yeah, the abuse that took place essentially. Yeah.
Exactly.
We should watch the Magdalena Sisters if we've not seen it. It's very good.
Yeah, we definitely enjoy that.
It's older, like it's set in an older time, but it's said at the end there for the victim, or for the, not victims, I don't know, for the women who were part of the Magdalena convents from 1922.
Yeah.
So it went all the way back.
All the way up to 1998.
Yeah, it's really sad.
It's very sad, to be honest. Yeah. But the movie itself was excellent. There was some fantastic shots, like nice directing shots and things like that, some like nice slow pans around, and it really like set the mood. There's
like a few of those where like it just stares at the door and it doesn't move, and then like stuff happens, people walk past the door or like walk through and past the camera as if you're just watching through a window, and I like that.
And you're part of it, but you're watching from a distance. And
because I always want to like crane my head around the corner and like look like what's happening in that room where someone's just walked to.
That's it.
So it's good for making you want more.
Yeah. And what did you think about Cillian, his performance?
He's so good. There was one bit where like he just cried.
Yeah.
And like I think I mentioned while we were watching it that the sound was really interesting, because I don't know if they did something different, but it felt like that when you heard things happen, you heard them from like a first person perspective. I know that sounds insane, but like the tear dropped onto the barber's thing, and it was like as if you had cried, because you know sometimes you can hear tears like landing on stuff.
Almost like a first person point of view. Yeah.
And then his footsteps, he was walking over across a bridge, and his footsteps were like, it's like when you hear your footsteps rather than when you hear somebody over there walking. It was really interesting.
Quite personal, wasn't it? Like you were with him.
Yeah. And you always heard him like taking deep breaths and like breathing and stuff. It was again very much a first person perspective of these things that were going on.
Yeah. It was like the director or whoever wanted you to feel the emotion and be with that person, close to that character.
And typically not a hell of a lot of script. Like he didn't say a lot throughout the film. He comes across as like this very disconcerting, is that the right word? Just like humble man, quiet, you know, it doesn't sort of look anybody in the eye too long, just goes about his day, feeds his family, looks after his
kind-hearted, but very working class.
Working class, but like just not looking for any trouble.
Yeah.
So when all of these sort of events start to unfold, you can see the anxiety it causes him, and you can see
he's not comfortable with the feelings he's feeling. And there are flashbacks in the film to his childhood, and we learn that he's had some issues. I won't give away everything because that's probably unfair, but he's had issues when he was younger. Similar issues to the themes, but
a similar theme.
Yeah, connected. And those flashbacks sort of build a picture of who he is, his character, and why he is as he is. Well, no, Cillian Murphy was fantastic. I thought he was brilliant.
Is he Irish?
He is Irish. Cillian.
He is Irish, yeah. Just I forget because like
he's in Peaky Blinders.
And yeah. So I thought he was really good. I even thought like the supporting actresses, because they were mostly all women.
Yeah.
I thought they were brilliant. The mom and the girls, I thought they like dynamic felt very natural and original. It made me like, it reminded me of like Christmases at home where everyone's together just banging around the kitchen, and that felt really organic and real.
I think the director did an excellent job in making them feel they seemed like sisters. They had little arguments and like they were bickering, but they were not kind to each other, and the family dynamic did feel natural, didn't it? And I like the Cillian and his wife, the couple.
Eileen. I know her name's Eileen.
Very Irish name again. Had a good connection.
I've just realised, sorry, in the pub, the song Come On Eileen was playing.
Oh.
So that might have given an insight into the era.
Yeah.
In that pub, I didn't even realise that.
Yeah, maybe late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah. Probably 80s.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
What era it is, what you thought it was.
When did Come On Eileen come on?
But also, just let us know what you thought of the film and our opinions of the film, because they might be ridiculous. I know. We might got the era right off. It could be 2012.
We decided to do this podcast because after every film that we watch, we always have all of these opinions, and I'll often go to work and chat to people about them. But and like you can get into some really good conversations about films. I think it just opens up your world.
Definitely.
And Tony has opened up my world in film, in that I've watched some of the maddest stuff I've ever seen, to the point where sometimes I've stopped the film and gone, what the hell did we just watch? Which brings us to this.
So the name.
So, a bit of background, a bit of inside info there.
And this is the pilot episode, so when we're rich and famous, it's going to be obviously gold. It's going to be just...
People have been telling me for ages to make a podcast, so here I'm actually doing it. This is Nova.
That's it.
It's no she'll feature, but she's got no opinions on this.
It's not a big glamorous setup. We're literally, the telly's behind the camera.
And we're in the lounge.
And we've just watched the film. So that's what we're going to do at the moment we finish the film, so that we can sort of review it accurately.
As fresh as possible.
And I think because whether a film inspires you, like you'll be most excited about it
or when it's like baffled the hell out of you, which they often do for me, then we get into these heated discussions.
Absolutely. So we will watch a wide variety of films, but some of them will be my style films, some of them will be more your style films, but we'll give each other's opinions. It's interesting. We always have good conversations, so we thought, why not film it with a camera and a microphone? And that's it.
Bob, you were saying about their dynamic, him and his wife.
I think similar to the kids, I thought it was really natural. Like it was of the era as well, and of the class of person. They come in. He comes in from work. There's no like kiss and hug, which maybe today we would do. It's just hello, dear. He sits down.
That he's got to wash his hands and like tidy up.
Routine is a big thing, isn't it? The washing hands is it's got quite an important part in the film. Which you'll see.
And again,
quite powerful,
a few times from a first-person perspective, like you watching him wash his hands. So that was really interesting.
Exactly.
But so she's not like dropped everything. Hello, honey. Like the 50s housewives. She's like, the kids are doing homework at the table. She's, busy. he just comes in and fits into their routine, into their life, because she'd like holding down the fort there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there's clearly love between them. Like she's asking how he is because she notices he's not his normal self.
Yeah.
So she's asking questions like caring about him, and there's a caring relationship, but it's I think it was nice. The connection was there. There was little.
She kept like touching his shoulder. She walked past and stuff. So that was quite nice.
Things like that were nice. Yeah.
And like just little things like she made a Christmas cake with the family, with the girls, and then put brandy in it. And I just thought like.
Yeah. And she's sitting with her brandy, watching the telly.
Watching the telly, yeah.
And for those people in the UK, like, they're watching Les Dennis, and they were watching Danger Mouse. So, again, 70s, 80s, we're thinking. Anyway, don't know why we're so obsessed with it, but...
I think 80s. I think because it was so...
I think Come On Eileen was like 80...
It must be.
79, 81.
But there was an element of, like, ambiguity, so maybe it was like a crossover, because you weren't entirely sure between the 70s and 80s.
You weren't.
So maybe that's why it was. Because she had a bit of a 70s-ish hairstyle.
Yeah.
One of the women had, like, 70s glasses on, so maybe it was that transition from 70s to 80s.
He worked in a coal... Like, it was fuel.
It was his business.
His business was providing fuels and stuff to the nunnery.
What's
convent?
Everyone, yeah.
Is it a nunnery or a convent?
Convent?
Convent. Is a nunnery a thing?
I think a nunnery... We're just going to sound like idiots, but I think a nunnery is where you go... Shall we Google it? I think a nunnery is where you go to become a nun. Nunnery. No, that's just a word that...
Non-school.
Nunnery meaning a building or group of buildings in which nuns live as a religious community, also called a convent.
I was thinking, there you go, so I was right.
You're right, yeah.
Just feels a bit like easy, doesn't it? A nunnery. And monkery.
Magdalene. Magdalene.
This is on the fly research, so it's pretty
convent.
High tech stuff, like.
Yeah. So let's say. Oh God, yeah. I'll just tell you what Wikipedia says. The Magdalene laundries in Ireland, also known as Magdalene asylums, were institutions usually run by Roman Catholic orders, which operated from the 18th to the late 19th centuries. They were run ostensibly to house fallen women, and estimated 30,000 of whom were confined in these institutions in Ireland. In 1993, unmarked graves of 155 women were uncovered in the convent grounds of one of the laundries. This led to media revelations about the operations of the secretive institutions. A formal state apology was issued in 2013, and a compensation scheme for survivors was set up by the Irish government. So yeah, it's a pretty big, it's a big deal, and I imagine if you are Irish, it's like a close to home topic.
Yeah.
So I thought it was handled very well. I thought it was handled very tastefully, very...
You didn't see much. There was only glimpses of inside the convent and what was going on.
It's not like an expose on the Magdalene convent, but he's sort of watching it from this point of view where he knows full well what's going on, but can't do much about it. And I think a lot of people at the time must have felt like that.
100%, and it sort of plays on. It's all about his conscience, and he's desperate to do something, but the town, it's obviously a small town, and there would be lots of repercussions. The nunnery, they do touch on the fact that nunnery has their fingers in a lot of pies.
Yeah.
So if he went against them,
what would they have been?
Cause a lot of issues for him as a family and his business and his kids. So it is huge, but it was done really well. But it's from his point of view.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you know what I didn't notice? Other than that song, I didn't notice lots of music or score.
No, there was when they played a record, and I said, Jesus, it looked like it was going around so fast.
Yeah.
When there was a flashback, they played a nice piece of classical music. I don't know what it was, but that's one thing I remember. And then some little bits of music, but a lot of it was unscored. There you go. There's a good word.
And sometimes just like the sound of rain, the sound of people walking,
the sound of his breathing, the sound of the van,
the van, the goose, the geese.
There was a lot of sound going on, even sometimes with the sound like background noise, like a hum.
Yeah,
it was.
But it's interesting that was highlighted over music. And score.
That's it.
No, I thought it was very good, and it'll stay with me, I think. I thought he was fantastic.
Well, this one we've wanted to watch for a while. We always get them on our wish list, and we will say that we don't want this just to be a review.
Yeah.
This is like, we'll just tell you a little bit about how we do things. So we don't pay the 15 quid when it first comes out. We wait until it drops to like 4 or 5 quid max.
5 is what I feel. It sounds crazy, but like I feel comfortable spending that at home.
And if it's a film we really want to watch, we'll push to 5.
Yeah. I have to wait often, long time to watch like my films.
Yeah. Tash's movies, like they're only worth like 3 quid. Mine are worth a 5. But no, we tend to wait till it's dropped down in price.
Yeah.
And we're watching them, so they're not going to be. But we do watch a lot of films in the cinema. Whether we're going to do these after the cinema,
in the car, that could be cool.
We're not sure.
Fresh, like as we get in the car, what the hell did we just watch?
Exactly.
What the hell did I just watch? What the hell did we just watch?
And we watch some rubbish as well, so
yeah,
they'll be on here as well. It might be shorter and a bit different to this, but excellent movie. Ratings. What are we going to do? Ratings in thumbs. How many thumbs would you give it?
3 thumbs up. Yeah. 3 thumbs? Oh, like out of 5 or 10?
I don't know.
I feel like 5 is such a small scale. I feel like there's a lot of 3s in the world. Whereas if you like go to 10,
I know.
You've got more scope.
And I never understand when they do like 3.5 for thumbage. Why did they do 3.5? That's may as well do 10. And then you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way to 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do
out of 10.
10 thumbs is like, what's 10 thumbs like? Jesus.
Well, what would be your 10 thumbs? Because you're very hard to please. You are your father's son.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
A 10 thumb film.
Shawshank Redemption.
That's going to be like a mouthful. A 10 thumb film. A 10 thumb film. Shawshank, Green Mile. Got to be.
Forrest Gump. Basically every film with. What's his name?
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks in.
Yeah. What's his name?
What's he called?
The Notebook.
That's a 3 thumbs. No, but like, okay, we'll do 10 thumbs.
10 thumbs.
What do we give small things like these?
Small things like these. Thumbage.
Out of 10.
Wow. The whole video is going to be made up of me guessing. I mean, we can always go back and review the thumbage later. Up it and down it. 8?
Well, 8 is nice. Yeah, I was thinking 7.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, you are more critical. So...
7 thumbs. But no, I thought the directing was great. I loved some of the shots. I loved, like, the lighting and the mood. And it was also shot. I don't know. I am a wedding videographer and I do some videos. So I am very much basic level in filmmaking. So it was slightly cropped in at the sides. So the format may have been different, whether it was filmed on a slightly different
film. Was it cropped
film.
the whole time? Not just the intro?
The whole time.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
So it wasn't like full widescreen. So one of you guys who knows all about the technical side, drop a comment, tell us what that's all about. Because, because by the end of this, we might be like film maker.
Well, I feel like a bit of a film critic anyways.
Yeah. We're loving some of the shots, like the rooftop shots. There was a street shot where you could just see the shop at the end. And
the one in the rain was like all nice.
It was really nice.
But I was going to say then that 7 or 8 thumbs feels good.
I'd be happy with 8
that's what I was going to say. I couldn't find fault. Like, I didn't once go, hated that character. That doesn't make sense.
Never got bored.
It kept me riveted. So, I think 8 is quite fair.
And I think the acting was actually excellent.
Yeah.
The head nun.
Oh, yeah, she was terrifying.
Queen Nun was very terrifying. That was...
Say her name.
She was Emily Watson.
Emily Watson, shall we fact check?
I believe.
Small things like these.
And she's obviously a very good...
cast.
I think she's English.
Emily Watson as Sister Mary. Eileen Walsh as Eileen Furlong.
Oh, wow, there you go.
That's easy enough.
Cillian Murphy as Bob. No, Bill.
And Michelle Fairley as Mrs. Wilson. You'll know her from Game of Thrones. She's the mom.
Oh, yeah, she was good. She was good. But yeah, we won't give too many things away. If you want to watch the film, please tell us what you think of the film, whether you think 7 thumbs or Tash's 8 thumbs. It's a good amount of thumbs.
Thumbs.
I think so.
I feel like our logo will need to be thumbnail.
Loads of thumbs. What the hell did we just watch? With like
a million
thumbs.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it. Over and out.
Thanks very much.
I think it was great. Was it? So we got thumbnails. We got 7 and 8 out of 10. And was it worth the whopping £5?
Oof, definitely. 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. I thought it was a great movie. Really, really good.
Worth the wait as well.
It was worth the wait. Yeah. Sometimes they're disappointing, but that was excellent.
Yeah.
Right, that's what have we done? Oof. We'll be bullshitless.
No.
Right, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.